Hello everyone and welcome to 3 Laps, 3 Topics with me, Andrew the Blade. How are you doing today? You doing good? I'm good. Good. I hope you're good too. The gameplay today, we're back on classics. I thought we'd broken through on the old having no people to race on in 3-lap lobbies, but it appears to be back again. So we're in the JPS Lotus round India. So yeah, hope you enjoy the race. So lap 1, we're going to kick off with a little review of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix from this weekend. Once again, a bit of an average race really, but I thought I'd start with my drivers of the day. A few contenders for this. First of all, the obvious Sebastian Vettel, another brilliant, imperious performance by the now 4-time world champion, so he's in the mix for that. Second guy that I'm going to mention is Nico Rosberg, who really showed his class, I think, this weekend. And the third one is Paul di Resta, who returned kind of to the form we saw him having both in the first half of the season and towards the back end of last year as well. I think though I'm gonna have to plumb with Vettel, simply because I remember watching the BBC highlights and noting down that he was at half a minute ahead of Webber or whoever was second at the time, and just thinking, wow. And it was once again, it was Schumacher-esque in the way he pulled away and controlled the tyres and controlled the race. And yeah, you can't fault the guy this year. The guy has been on another level, fully deserves the championship win, best car or not. Although I will say, I found something on Reddit the other day that kind of looked at each of Webber's races. And I know we all say that Webber is the most unlucky driver in Formula 1, but he really has had some awful luck this season. If I can find it, I'll post it in the description below. Second lap, I'd like to bring up my one of two off-track favourite topics. One of them, of course, being driver changes, but I've talked about that enough lately. Let's bring the talk of calendar changes back, and hallelujah, there's been some sense made, some rumoured sensible decision. I think Sky Sports reported first of all over the weekend, and they seem to be pretty on the ball at the moment with the old rumours and stuff. The rumour is that New Jersey, surprise surprise, is gone again. That the race around the street circuit in New Jersey isn't going to happen, and that also Mexico is maybe not going to happen next year as well. That would bring us down to 20 races, which I think it's still not ideal. I think it's still too much for the teams to do, but it's not the almost NASCAR-esque 22 races, which I think would be way too much, and possibly too much on the new engines, which is something I've discussed in a previous video. But yeah, it's a shame to see the Mexico one go, because I was quite intrigued to see how that would have worked out. But maybe that one might come back in the future, maybe on rotation, I don't know. It's kind of staying on the same issue of circuits and stuff. I wanted to talk about Abu Dhabi and the Yas Marina circuit as a whole. Now, I'm sure you all saw Fernando Alonso's scary moment launching over that curb, really taking a hit, and I think he experienced 28G and had to go off and be medically checked as they have to do per the regulations. So there was that incident, but for me there was an even more worrying incident earlier in the weekend in GP2, where John Lancaster was launched towards Tom Dillman, and I'm afraid to say nearly took Tom Dillman's head off. What he was launched by wasn't another car or a piece of dodgy driving, which is normal in GP2, especially when Johnny Cecotto's around. But it was actually curbing, and one of those massive sausage curbs on the inside of corners. And for me, looking at those two incidents, they really need to look at the design of not just the Yas Marina track, but circuits across the calendar. You really cannot have cars being launched like that. When, for me, I know it's to stop people cutting corners, but there's that's what the penalties are for. You put the penalties in place to stop people cutting those corners. We can't be having drivers having nose cones launched at their heads. It's really not good, and I was really not impressed to see that. Here's a little thing though, Codemasters. Dear Codemasters, why is this a penalty for me? Oh, just sort it out. Sort it out. Thanks for watching the videos, guys, and also thank you for the feedback that I've been receiving lately. It's been really well appreciated, the time and effort that some of you guys have put into comment and favourite and share, so I can't thank you enough for that. On the screen, 2 videos you may have missed. On the left, the last episode of 3 Laps 3 Topics, and on the right is the F1 VRL preview for this year. Thank you very much.